Hello and welcome to a weekly podcast to do all things Rovers. I'm joined here with Alex Gibbings, a fellow fan of Rovers and a fellow sports journalist at the University of Leeds.
Leeds Trinity.
Leeds Trinity. How are you doing, Alex? You alright?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. So we'll get down to it, we'll get straight into it, talk about the two games this week. Cambridge 3-2. It was a good first half performance.
Yeah.
Would you say we were slightly lucky to not have a 1 point instead of 3?
I think in the end we were lucky to keep hold on 3 points. I think we obviously started off well, took a 3-0 lead as well into the last 20 minutes, and then they sort of got a goal out of nothing. It was a good goal as well from George Morris, and that sort of gave him a bit of momentum. But we managed to cling on to all 3 in the end, and luckily we've not dropped another couple of points like we have in the last 5 games or so as well.
And we were speaking before. You said you'd seen the highlights of it, and you didn't rate the referee's performance. What did you make of that?
We've had a bit of a thing of late with referees. The first 10 minutes, Cambridge did get a penalty, and having looked at it over and over, I can't see why the penalty's been given. Neil Lawler's got the ball, he's won the ball. Their attacker's gone over, but there's nothing in it for me, and I don't think it is a penalty. And luckily, we've got that look where Luke Berry's missed the penalty, he missed it badly, and we've had a let off, and we've been able to take advantage of that.
Something of a constant, keeps coming back, the performance of the referees in our matches. The referee didn't have a very good game on Saturday against Accrington, did he?
No, there were a lot of decisions. I mean, not just for Rovers, but for Accrington as well. There was a lot of decisions that could have gone the other way on another day. I think the standard of refereeing in League Two, especially this season, it's not been as good as sort of what we used to. I mean, I would say that there's a better standard of officiating in the higher leagues, but the referees, the last couple of games especially, they've come under fire a lot from the band, and I think rightly so. I think they're sort of wanting to take centre stage a lot more and sort of just like distracting and just sort of taking away from the fans' view of the game. Like they're wanting to go and enjoy the game, so it's being sort of ruined by the referee and the decisions they're making on the day.
So obviously with the injury to Jordan Houghton, that looked like a really nasty one. Harry Milton came in. How did you think he did on Saturday?
He was alright. I mean, I think he was at fault for the first goal. He needs to sort of doing better in the midfield there. But you can't really complain. He's been brought in. He's come in trying to do a job in the middle. Houghton is going to be a massive loss for us towards the end of the season. He played every game until he got injured. And he's a hard player to replace now. If we go up this season now, we're getting back in August, he'll be a key player in League One as well, because I think he can do a good job higher up as well. But, I worry about that position at the moment. Middleton is good, but I don't think he's quite out in standard. We've got Luke Culloch out injured as well. Now, Ferguson's been saying that he's maybe sort of getting close to a return. He's sort of doing a bit more training here and there. And he's a sort of player we've been missing, I think, this season. When sort of we've been like Blackpool, I think we weren't at our best there. We lost 4-2. When we had Luke McCulloch in the midfield, I think we'd tighten up the defence a bit more and commanded it well. And so it'd be interesting to see how it is at the end of the season if he does come back in.
Yeah, that's something that's always been a sketchy part of Rovers play, the defence. And obviously Jordan did that role so well in front of the back four. Fergie did mention that he was back in training on Monday next week and could be back before the end of the season. Do you think that if he does come back before the end of the season, he'll bring like a real big boost to the squad? As we get towards the business end of the season, do you think he'll be a great asset to bring back and get in before the end of the season?
I think he will be. Yeah, I mean, it showed last season. We did get relegated last season, obviously, but when Liverpool did play in that central defensive midfield role, in the last few games of the season, he did really well. And he was sort of one of the standout players towards the end of the League One. It weren't, they weren't putting in great performances the whole squad, but if we take one thing away from that, it was the performances that he was putting in himself. I think really.
Obviously, we're talking as if he's like played that role for his whole career. He's not. He started as a centre back, and that just shows the versatility that he has. He can play pretty much anywhere in the back four.
Yeah, well, he's obviously he was originally a centre back, but sort of Paul Nicholl put him at right back, and I think Ferguson did it a couple of times. But I haven't seen him as a defender personally. I've seen him more as a midfielder player now. The performance he's been putting in when he's been in the middle have really impressed me. I think one of the standout games, he was playing in defence in this game, but one of the standout games that he had was against Stoke in the FA Cup. I mean, he settled Nathan Tyson's equaliser. But if he's playing further forward as well, and he's going on them runs that he made against the likes of Stoke, there's no reason to say why he can't be sort of a great player in the midfield instead of sort of sitting. I mean, he controls, like I said, he controls it perfectly in the middle.
Yeah, definitely. Following the game against Cambridge, I thought this was quite amusing. Rovers tweeted saying that we'd now accumulated enough points to be mathematically safe from relegation. Now, I know that obviously was a bit of fun in that tweet, but in all seriousness, that'll be music to the fans' ears. I know it's music to mine because we've suffered a shock relegation. It must be a shock. I see it as a shock relegation to League Two. It shouldn't be anywhere near this league, in my opinion. And obviously, coupled with the relegations from the Championship in recent years, the fact that we are doing so well now, we are winning games, it must be like a godsend to the fans.
Yeah, definitely. I think a minority of fans as well are sort of worried about what we might be doing in League Two this year. Obviously, a lot of fans expected us to be there or thereabouts at the top of League Two, but there's some that sort of thought, well, are the players really going to be able to pick themselves up? Just look at Leyton Orient, and Yeovil. Yeovil, they were lucky to not suffer a triple relegation really back to the conference as well. And look at Leyton Orient now. 3 years ago they were at Wembley. We were one penalty kick away from the Championship, and now they're battling administration. They've got a winding up order. They're in the bottom two, and it's not looking good for them at the moment.
No, and really the Rovers, their going forward has been a real highlight for us this season. I'll pull a stat out here. It's saying that our front trio, or our main trio, John Marquis, Tommy Rowe and James Coppinger, have been involved in over 60 League Two goals this season. How important do you think those three have been to our league form this season?
Well, they've been crucial, really. John Marquis he's been about a bit, really. He's been at 9. I think he's had 9 loan spells at different clubs while he was at Millwall. He didn't really start to get his foot down anywhere. So I think
he's obviously scored 20 league goals this season and 33 games he's played. That he's never done that before in his career, but you'd argue that he's never really had that sort of stable club. He's never been in a stable atmosphere. He's always been alone. It's always been temporary, and really to get into a side, he's signed permanently. That must be good for him, and that must obviously, you can see he scored 20 goals. That must have an impact on the player. He must be high in confidence because he knows that this is his team now. He's not on loan. It's not a temporary deal where he's just going to go and play for 6 months. He is here for the long run, hopefully, and that obviously you can tell that he's just in great form because of it.
Yeah, definitely. I saw something this morning. You mentioned that he's got 20 league goals in 33 games. In his previous 130, 140 appearances, he's scored 26 goals. So, being at a club permanently is going to do him a whole lot of good, and he's been the main man really in the middle. The Rovers this season, there's been a lot of questions about who should be his strike partner. We've had Andy Williams, Liam Mandeville, now we've got Alfie May with him as well, and I think those two, towards the end of the season, can be key players for Rovers. I'm really impressed with Alfie May recently as well, coming in from a non-league side, Darren Ferguson's got this knack of finding talent from the non-leagues, like White Gale, Brits on Bologna, those sort of players. And I really think he's found a German Alfie May there. And the last couple of performances that I've seen him put in as well, I've been really impressed with him.
And you talk about Ferguson and his ability to bring in non-league players. He also, when he was at Preston, he brought in a lot of his dad's players on loan. Are you happy? Do you think that he's not gone with the whole loan process now? We've only got a couple of loan players because of my point previous that if they're a permanent player, they play for the club more, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good. It's always good to get a couple of loan players in. Conor Grant, I'm still amazed how we managed to get him. He played superbly well last season in League One, and it was a shame that he got injured really in the end. And when he went to Ipswich in the summer, I wasn't surprised at all to see him in the Championship. I wasn't. And how we managed to get him back in League Two, I don't know. And Jordan Houghton as well. They've both been superb, and obviously Houghton now will be missing, but Conor Grant, he's going to be a key player again for Doncaster Rovers this season. I think you've got to have some quality players if you get them out, if you win in leagues, and I think Conor Grant is definitely one.
There was the rumour going around that he didn't want he was offered the full transfer. He was offered to move to Doncaster. But he didn't want to do that, presumably not wanting to play permanently in League Two. But if we do get promoted, do you see a possibility of him signing permanently with Rovers?
I think so. I think he's done a good thing there, sort of wanting time to think about what he really wants from the move here. There is obviously a deal in place. I think if we do go up, I think he will sign permanently, personally. But he's done well not to commit himself straight away. Recently we've had that little bit of a wobble, and if that was, any more than that, I think, he's sort of got to be looking in case we were promoted, or he don't want to be sitting around in League Two for his early part of his career. It's all about development. I think, get promoted. He'll be a key player in League One. You never know what might happen next season.
True, and obviously the other in those that trio that I mentioned, Tommy Rowe, really a bit of an unsung hero. He doesn't get as much as the plaudits of Marquis does and Coppinger does. So really, you have to say that he's been an exceptional player for us as well. What's your opinions on him?
Similar to Conor Grant, really, in the fact that I'm not quite sure how we managed to sign him really in League Two. It was a good signing for us last season. Again, with Luke McCulloch in those last few games of the season, he was a really key player. And I think if we'd have got Tommy Rowe in sooner, I think we could still be in League One this season. But like I say, I'm really surprised that we managed to get him in League Two. Obviously, there's the links there with Darren Ferguson. But he's come from Wolves on a free, and there must have been sort of higher league clubs that he could have gone to. But obviously, the links there with Ferguson, he's got a good relationship with him, and I'm really pleased that he has sort of decided to drop down to League Two, and we've got 10 or 11 league goals now, I think, as well. And that's a great record for a midfielder.
Yeah, I think it's 11. Obviously, going back to Marquis, he's firing on all cylinders at the moment, but arguably the fans probably don't want him to be turning too many heads at the moment. They don't want, we've seen it before where players have used this platform, being at Rovers, they've used it as a stepping stone to move on to better things. How important do you think he is, and how important do you think it is that we keep hold of him going forward?
It's massively important. I think that we keep him. We've touched on it before about how he's been sort of tossed about these different loan spells. He's been from did one club to another, and now he's finally settled, he's finally scoring on a regular basis. And it's crucial to keep him really. Ferguson said just the other day that he expects interest in Marquis in the summer. Ferguson sees him as a championship player, and there's no reason to say why he can't be a championship player with us if we do go this season. I think the squad we've got at the moment, I think they can sort of challenge mid-table League One with that squad we've got at the moment, and there's no reason why in the summer if we have gone up, the board will put money into the club, strengthen further, and I think playoffs are a definite possibility for us, and I think we can sneak into the championship maybe next season, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I've said it from the start. I think this squad that Fergie's put together is a mid-table League One team, possibly at least. And I like yourself, I'm dumbfounded how he's pulled some of those players into the team, how he's managed to get them. We spoke a little bit about Alfie May. I haven't had the chance to witness him in action yet, but you have. Do you think he could become a Rovers legend in time?
I think he'd do a fairly good job getting towards that. He made his debut against Barnet, and bearing in mind he's 5'6" at the most, I'd say 5'8" maybe. He's not the biggest of players. He was beating Barnet defenders in the air. He was 6'5", and he was straight into it. As soon as he came on, he was straight into it. Full of energy, sprinting about, and he's not really stopped since. I mean, he came on against Luton. He took his goal brilliantly well, and it's just a crucial point there. Luton, they'll be thereabouts at the end of the season. A goal like that against a team like that, it's going to do his confidence a world of good. And he settled John Marquis for the goal that gave us the lead against Accrington, and we did get pegged back. But he got a crucial touch on that ball over from Jamie Coppinger, settled John Marquis. Up 2-1. It's going to be a good partnership between Marcus and May, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it progresses towards the end of the season.
From what I've heard from certain fans of what they spoke about him, I can somehow see a link between maybe him and Ian Hume when he was at Rovers. That sort of never say die attitude, running for the whole 90 minutes, not giving up. Is that a possible link there?
I think so. Yeah, I think they're both similar sort of shape player. I think as well, sort of small, but they can get around the defence and cause a lot of problems. I really liked Ian Hume when he was that season when we won the league.
He was doing the same sort of thing, wasn't he? He was winning headers against 6'5" centre backs and just giving his all really. So I think that that's a great comparison to make if Alfie can go on and help us win the league like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it will cause problems for the defences. I'm happy to see that he is starting games now as well. He did have a sort of stop-start sort of beginning in January, sort of making an appearance here and there, and I was out of the squad with injury. So it's good to see him come back now, and I'm really keen to see him do well.
So looking forward to the game at the weekend against Crawley. We've only actually played them 5 times. We've got 1 win, which was obviously that memorable 5-0 thrashing away. They have 1 and 3 draws. What can you predict? For the game on Saturday, what do you think will happen?
We're going to get the win on Tuesday, but sort of the defence did switch off in the last 10-15 minutes or so. But Crawley are sort of a bit stop and start as well, really at the moment. They lost on Tuesday night to Exeter, but then they beat Wickham on Saturday, and then they're losing to teams like Morecambe, and Notts County as well recently as well. So I think they'll be a tough team to break down. I don't think it'll be as comfortable as some fans expect them to be. But I mean, we'll wait and see. I think if we start how we did against Cambridge minus the penalty, sort of getting 2 goals in the opening 25 minutes, I think, Crawley over there for the taking. I don't see why we can't win big, but, the way that Crawley are performing and the way we've been recently, it's going to be an interesting game, I think.
Yeah, we have had the shaky recent form, but we've lost only 2 games in 21. We're top of the league by 6 points. We're 6 points clear. I know Plymouth have got a game in hand, but when we talk about Plymouth, the word bottle job comes to mind. They've had a few seasons where they've been up at the top, and then it's just faded out, and it's just not come to fruition. Do you see them as a real challenge to our title hopes?
I still think that Plymouth have finished top 3. I think it's between us, Plymouth, and I'm sort of saying Portsmouth now. They've got a game hand over Carlisle, and they're only a couple of points behind. They've done really well to get it back. But I think the game I think it's the 26th of March, the game that we've got the keeper against Plymouth. I think that will decide the title. I think the winner of that will win League 2. Last season, obviously, they lost in the playoff final to Wimbledon. They were unlucky to lose that, I think, really. I was at the game then, and sort of Plymouth going forward, they were a really dangerous side, and they did lose Ruben Reid, but they've kept hold of Graham Carey, which I was surprised about, because he was a standout player in that final last year, and he's been doing really well this year. And I think he's going to be one of the main players for them if they are to sort of win the league. But I think they will definitely go up the season. I think the time is now to go up for them.
And obviously, like you said, that game, I think it's been selected for TV.
Yeah.
It's like you said, I do believe that will decide the winner of the league. But then again, it's in our hands, isn't it? It's ours to lose. We've got 6 points clear, game in hand, admittedly, but really, it's in our hands. If we slip up, then it's down to us. What do you think will? Do you think we'll be able to keep it going?
I think so. I mean, if you look at the games we've got coming up, we've got Crawley this weekend, Cheltenham the weekend after, Leighton Orient the weekend after that. So that's 3 teams sort of in the bottom 6, 7, I think. We should, top of the league against those sort of teams. We should be getting 9 points out of that and sort of distancing ourselves. But they're scrapping as well for points. And I don't think it'll be as straightforward as I think many people think. It is in our own hands, and I think I don't want to say we've got 1 foot in League 1 already, but we're creeping towards that now, and we've got to sort of take out ourselves, sort of keep calm, and then we should be alright to go up next season for next season.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure. Obviously, I can't really do the maths on the spot, but I'm sure that in a few games, if we keep on winning, maybe the other teams in the playoffs don't pick up points. It could be that we're safe for the playoffs. Sorry, in by a couple of weeks' time, maybe a month's time.
Yeah, I don't think we'll drop out the top 7. The risk is dropping out the top 3. And that'll be an absolute disaster, I think, now. So with 12 points clear of Portsmouth, bearing in mind they have got a game hand over us, so it could go out to 9. But I think it will be an absolute disaster if we did go down. And we have to go through the playoffs. And I think going through the playoffs it's not straightforward at all. It'll be an interesting to see what happens in the next few weeks, I think.
Just looking at the upcoming fixtures, I think these 3 games in a row are going to really test Rovers. It's the Plymouth game, then we've got Grimsby away, and then Mansfield at home. Now, do you really those 3 games? I think they're really tough games. Like we've got the two local or most local rivals there in the league, and obviously the title challengers. That's a tough 3 games in a row, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think the game with Plymouth. I think like I said, that will decide who wins the league for me. But if we don't get a good result out of that Plymouth game, we've got to pick up 6 points out Grimsby and Mansfield, I think, really. Because, Plymouth could still, you mentioned it about bottling it before, there's still a chance they could slip up as well. So I think if we do lose against Plymouth, there is still the hope that we can win the league, and we have to get 6 points out of 6 against Grimsby and Mansfield, really.
So, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Liam Mandeville. He said, he really burst onto the scene. I think has it 8 goals he's got?
Yeah, roughly. I think in the league. Yeah, he's scored in every competition we've played in the season. I know that.
Yeah, and he was obviously a great talent. I saw that the free kick against Grimsby was perfect, but he's had a bit of an injury struggle recently. I think he had a thigh problem right about the time of the Portsmouth game, and then recently, I don't know if it's still the thigh problem, but I heard somewhere about an ankle problem or something. Do you think if he obviously comes back, you mentioned earlier you didn't know who you'd pick as a definite partner to Marquis, would you say Mandeville's got the credentials to be a partner for John?
I think if he does come in sort of later on towards the season, I think Mandeville will be more of an impact player for me personally. Don't get me wrong, he's done well. Sort of when he was on that great spell, even player of the month, even player of the month. You can't complain with that. But I think for me, one of his standout games was the game away at Exeter when we were 1-0 down, and he came on, he scored 1 and set up 2, and he's come off the bench and done that. I think he will be more of an impact player towards the end of the season when he does return from injury. I think he's got a lot of potential for it in the future, but I think for now, when he does come back from injury, I think Marquis and May they'll be struggling to sort of get into the team, they'll be keeping him out, and I'd like to see him more of an impact player with Andy Williams maybe.
Okay, and just to finish things up, a lot of great players we've had this season, they've done great things for us. Right now, if you were to pick your player of the season, who would it be and why?
There's a couple of options that I could probably think of, but the main one for me is Matthew Baldry. He's come in, he spent a long time at Leyton Orient. He was well liked by the fans there, and he was always a standout player for them. And I think since he's come into the squad, he's just brought a whole new sense of sort of composure and a lot more experience and leadership into the side. We did have Andy Butler giving that sort of leadership, being like the strength of the fight, but Matt Bowdry just sort of strengthened that even further. And he for me has been one of the key players I think this season. But there's Tommy Rowe and James Coppinger as well. 2 other players that could potentially give it to. We did miss Coppinger a bit when he was suspended. And Newport away 0-0. I think if Coppinger was playing, we could have got something out of that. But Bowdry for me is probably the player of the season so far, definitely.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks for joining us, Alex. We will be doing this on a weekly basis, chatting about all things Rovers really. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also give our Facebook page a like. It's at Rovers Fan TV, and hopefully we'll be having a video for the next home game, which is the Cheltenham game. So hope to see some of the fans there, get some responses from them following the game. We'll